Good evening, everybody. This is V, and I am beyond the cute kitchen. We are in the cute balcony garden today. And there's that little... That's actually from one sweet potato that's hidden under the ground. Under the soil. But, those things right there are all sunflower sprouts that I cut and use on our wraps. Because Ellie likes them. They make her happy. So... She also likes the collards and her kale's inside. So we won't show you that. That's not what I came to show you. This sweet potato, you've seen it in other videos. But I am doing this video for a special friend, Miss Carol, over at a Fishes and Loaves Life, L-I-F-E. And that's one sweet potato. And it's got 2 vines. Now, these vines were a lot bigger. So, what I did, thank you to Mr. Homestead Aquarius, who convinced me to take some cuttings from them. So, I did that. I couldn't video record the whole thing because it's kind of hard to cut the extreme sweet potato that I had and hold a camera. So, I cut them. That was 3 or 4 days ago. I put them in nice spring water. Oh, there's another one. And they grew little roots. Now that root needs to go back in the water. So the root don't die. There we go. Stay in there. It's being very difficult. It's obviously a male. Ha ha. So, I have 3 jars, or actually 2 jars in a plastic or cut cheese container. What I've already done today is taken out some of them that had really good root systems already, and I planted them. So, what I do need to get is some more bamboo sticks, so that they can, come up like this. And, especially those 2 right there. They're laying down on the job. See them? They're being lazy. But anyways, I just did this about an hour and a half ago. I made sure it was well watered earlier in today. And, this is just half potting soil and half of my vermicompost mix. And as you can tell, I dug them all the way down to the bottom of this container. And I put them in there. And they're doing quite nicely already, so I'm very hopeful about that. But that's what I did. I trimmed down my sweet potato, and I cried. I cried about it. It was a beautiful sweet potato vine. But I got all kinds of cuttings. Those are the ones that still need to get some more roots to them, and then I'm going to be putting them in a different container. And then I dug little holes, nice and deep in here, and put them in there. And they all had roots, really good roots. These are the ones that have really good roots. It just rained, which it rarely ever happens in Washington, and it's rained all day, really heavy. So the roads are kind of wet, and the people don't know how to drive on wet roads. Because they're not Floridians. They're used to driving on ice and snow. Not wet, rainy roads. So if you hear some squealing of tires, that's what's going on over there. So that's what we did. Miss Carol, the next time you plant a sweet potato, do not put it in the water and all that crap. My goodness. This literally was a store-bought potato, sweet potato, and I went to go eat it, and it had beautiful foliage growing out of it, so I stuck it in dirt. That's all I did. I stuck it down in soil, and it grew a vine that just kept going and growing, and I'll put the links to the other sweet potato videos about this vine and how huge it got before I was told, you could just cut those and have sweet potatoes next fall, or next spring. Gee, I didn't think about that. So, that's what I did. And these are the ones that are left over that are still getting some roots in there. There's some that already have a little bit of roots. There's some that have little nodules of roots that you can tell are coming out. There's some more back there that have roots already, but not as many roots as the ones these had. So these got planted already because they had extravagant, extensive roots in just 3 days. So, just cut them, put them in some spring water, let them grow some roots, dig a nice deep hole, stick them in the ground. It's all good. And Miss Carol, you live in South Florida, so, you know, it shouldn't be too bad for you. Whereas I live in Washington and have to garden on my balcony. So, these will be coming in when it gets cooler, because they don't like cooler weather. I just, right now, I can't lift it by myself, because it's very heavy. It's very thick, but it's well draining. In fact, when I watered it earlier today, I put that planter down there under there to catch some of the water. There's water down in there. I use some of it to water my more sunflower sprouts. Now, Ellie did not get to start school this week because Ellie was exposed to, Ellie's my oldest daughter, she was exposed to COVID when her father was visiting us from Florida. He did not know that he had been exposed from his fiance until the second day they were here. She called him and said, "Hey, I just tested positive for COVID. Had to go to the hospital. It was causing her heart to have problems. Luckily, she's okay, but he gave it to everybody else. He gave it to me, well, possibly me. I had to get my test today. But I have more symptoms than Ellie does, so I'm fairly certain I'm going to test positive. Ellie's test positive this morning. We got her test results and they're positive, so she can't start school. That's kind of why I haven't been doing videos the last 2 days, not very long videos, because I was losing my voice. And it just didn't sound good. I sounded like a frog. Anyway, I didn't think I wanted to hear that. This is my Santa Fe pepper from Mr. Joe over at Garden State Gardener. And, yeah, I apparently have Mr. John disorder. Mr. John over at Will It Grow is a late bloomer. And apparently my plants are as well. So, I've got some tomato plants, or tomatoes growing over here. Little bitty tomatoes. I don't know what kind those are. That was kind of a volunteer, so I'm not sure what it is. I keep watering it, fertilizing it, and it still looks that way. But it's producing, so I'm not going to jinx it. I'm trying to stay out of the light, guys. Sorry. Can you see them? There they are. I'm probably going to end up cutting this part right here off. Can y'all see that? Right there. I'm probably going to end up cutting that part off. It's not producing anything. And I'm going to see if maybe that helps this part right here that actually is producing something. This is my lettuce box. Again, this is for Ellie's, our wraps, but me and Ellie eat wraps a lot. And so what we do is we cut them, put them on our wraps, and then they grow again. So they've only been cut back once. So now I also have, this is Ellie's sunflower. I thought that it said it would only produce one sunflower, like the other one I had that was Maggie's. Produced one sunflower, came out, little bitty bud, died. I got the seeds out of it. This one's got two. There's the big one there, and then this little one over here. Now this had opened the other day, and it was nice and green inside. I don't know what happened. It closed back up. So I have no clue. Also, I'm having a problem with, look at all of those. There are so many growing up on that. I do have another one inside, which I'll deal with. I'll show you all in a minute. This is a volunteer tomato plant. This is actually 3. One little one here. A medium-sized one there. That one's a pretty nice one. And then this big guy right here. So, these are hot peppers. That is garlic bulbs. Those are my marigolds. I'm letting those stay on there for a little bit until I can get the seeds out of there, I guess. Those are dwarf bolero marigolds. That's mint that I cut too far back. Those are my sweet peas that I planted in there, I guess like 2 days ago. And they got nice rain today, so hopefully that'll help. These, you see this? This is cantaloupe that I planted back in February that never sprouted. So I turned the container upside down and left it upside down. 3 days later, I come out here. I'm like, okay, it should be nice and dry now. I'll just take... Son of a gun. All these little bad boys had sprouted up. They were white because they were under the container. I took the container off. I don't know where I put it. Probably inside. Who knows? And just let them get some sun. And now they're all nice and dark. Will they grow? Probably not. It's going to be cold here soon. But I've got a floating row cover. And I've got heat lamps. So, who knows? That's just extra soil. That's just my watering can. Just extra buckets. This mess here is actually my fertilizer. I put a new battery in it yesterday and it ran for like 24 hours. That was it. When I put 2 batteries in it last time, it went for like almost 2 weeks. So I'm going to put the other 2 batteries in. I just wanted to see if it would run on 2 batteries. It did run, but only for 1 day. So I'll put 2 of them in. That's my volunteer something and another. I'm not sure what. When I water my vermicompost bin, which is what this is with all these weird things. I don't know what those are. Growing out of it, it drifts down and fertilizes and waters that plant. Whatever plant's under there. This right here is my purple tree collard. And I took some of the leaves off the other day and sprayed it with some neem oil because something was eating the leaves. So I'm hoping that cured whatever it was. That's what also happened to that. As long as Ellie can't see the holes in the leaves, she'll eat it. But if she sees the holes in the leaves, she'll like, ah! So I have to make the wraps with those. And she likes to eat the collard leaves in her wraps. So, along with the sunflower sprouts and the baby lettuce. So, that's pretty much all that's out here. I cannot grow tomatoes and peppers on purpose, apparently. Because I planted 8 Santa Fe peppers and only 2 sprung up. But these are my Texas Foothill okra that Miss Nisi from A Free Handling Maid sent me these. I won them in a giveaway she had. So I put them down here, and lo and behold, the soil that I used apparently had tomato and pepper, and that looks like some kind of either cabbage or something. I have no idea. But that apparently was in that soil that I used, and now it's all sprouting up, so I have to take care of that. This is my Mizuna red streaks. They're dried out. I just need to harvest the seeds, and like I said, I've been sick, so it hasn't happened. There's some more garlic back there. Just clove the garlic. I like to use the leaves as chives. So, all that because I wanted to show Miss Carol my sweet potato vine. And my sweet potato cuttings. I apologize. And the sweet potato cuttings that I just planted in the soil. So y'all have a great night. I will get to the other inside plants probably later tomorrow. Because, yeah, it's actually really late here. It's almost 11 o'clock here. And I'm tired. So y'all have a great night. It's Friday the 10th. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. Bye.